Psst. Are you down with getting high? More specifically, do you view altered states as a means of growth, healing, and spiritual insight? If so, you would be in alignment with the most influential New Age mystics and psychonauts. Of course, throughout history and prehistory, humans have used dancing, chanting, fasting, meditation, prayer, and of course the ingestion of psychoactive plants to facilitate non-ordinary states of consciousness in order to commune with ancestors and spirits, retrieve otherwise hidden knowledge, and of course commune with the divine. Within the New Age current, fascination with altered states can be traced back to William James, who in 1874 was inspired to experiment with nitrous oxide, or laughing gas, based on a pamphlet he had read called The Anesthetic Revelation and the Gist of Philosophy. While high on nitrous, William James wrote some of the world's most ridiculous stoner poetry, including What's a Mistake but a Kind of Take? What's Nausea but a Kind of Ausea? Drunk, Unk, Astonishment, etc., etc. To be fair to James, he later wrote one of the most influential books on the subject of altered states and religious epiphanies in Varieties of Religious Experience, in which he wrote the following. Our normal waking consciousness is but one special type of consciousness, whilst all about it, parted from it by the filmiest of screens, there lie potential forms of consciousness entirely different. No account of the universe in its totality can be final, which leaves these other forms of consciousness quite disregarded. Another pioneer of New Age mysticism was Aldous Huxley, who in 1954 wrote the famous Doors of Perception, and in 1956 wrote Heaven and Hell. Both of these books were based on Huxley's experimentations with mescaline and other drugs, and both were based on the William Blake poem, The Marriage of Heaven and Hell, in which Blake wrote, If the doors of perception were cleansed, man would see the world as it is, infinite. Huxley received his first dose of mescaline from a doctor named Humphrey Osmond, who actually coined the term psychedelic, meaning mind manifesting or soul revealing. Humphrey wrote, To fathom hell or soar angelic, just take a pinch of the psychedelic. This heaven and hell dichotomy of altered states was even reflected in Albert Hofmann's discovery of LSD, which happened in 1943, around the same time the atomic bomb was discovered. In general, mysticism acts as a kind of double-edged sword, not only in terms of the experiences it provides, but in terms of its epistemology. Having another portal besides rationality through which one can access knowledge and information can be quite liberating. But that same portal can also let in all manner of weirdness and woo that people deem to be true just because it feels true. Those who doubt the dangers of altered states need only consider Charles Manson and other cult leaders who used LSD to program their members and get them to do unspeakable things. One could also consider MK Ultra, a secret U.S. government program aimed at developing techniques of mind control using psychedelics. So if you're down with getting high, just remember that there are downsides as well. Bon voyage.